I'm the coordinator for the Italian Stories program. Every month, the Italian Stories programs host various speakers on many subjects of interest to Italian Americans, to the Italians too, I have to say. Everything from our people's stories to Italian history, from food and fashion to music and regional languages, customs and traditions. To top it off, we will have native Italian speakers that will delight you in our forebears' native language. Teresa's journey into the Italian art of bread making beautifully reflects the essence of Italian stories. It's a celebration of heritage, resilience, and deep cultural roots that connect us to our forebears. In Italian tradition, bread is far more than just food. It symbolizes family sustenance and the rituals that unite people. Every region has its own story, from the rustic loaves of southern Italy to the delicate focaccia of the north, just like the generations of Italians who carried their traditions across the ocean. Teresa's passions for baking, sparked by curiosity and sustained through dedication, mirrors the spirit of Italian craftsmanship and perseverance. Sharing her experience with the community honors our Italian roots and contributes to the mission of Italian Stories, keeping the Italian culture, skills, values, and traditions alive. We hope the journey will inspire you to embrace your traditions and share your stories with us. Somebody will show me Umberto, we need to do this story. Most importantly, break bread together in the Italian spirit, as Teresa will do, right?
Yeah.
Grazie mille. Thank you for being part of this storytelling journey. Finally, if you can, please donate to the Casa to help with the expenses. Teresa, take it away.
Okay, all right. I'm Teresa Bianchi, and I have to say that I am absolutely overjoyed to see all of you here today. Haley is my friend, and he asked me if I would come and talk about making bread, possibly do a class for Italian Stories, and I thought maybe 10 people would show up. And I'm thrilled. So I'm hoping that from this class, maybe we do a bread club. If you guys are interested, and we'll have a follow-up, and perhaps we do this maybe every other month or once a month, because as I get into this, it is kind of a journey, this type of bread that I make. Okay, so a little bit about myself. I'm born and raised here in Seattle. I'm from Beacon Hill. I know there's some other people here from Beacon Hill. And my grandfather's, the one that came from Italy, he and his brothers and my great-grandmother, great-grandfather, this is the picture, it's from downstairs. Growing up on Beacon Hill, other things, I'm not just Italian, but growing up on Beacon Hill, I thought I was only Italian until I was like 10. And so that kind of was disappointing to find out that I'm not. But anyways, that's what I identify with. So that's my family. And we are from, if you look at the map of Italy, we are from up here in Lago Maggiore. So that is this little lake, and my family is from this town, Angera. So way up in the north. My husband's family is Calabrese. So a lot of people from Calabria, not as many people from the north. I know somebody from the north, right back here though. We're from the same area. Anyways, just wanted to give you that history, and you can go ahead and start the video.
Yep.
We're gonna have a little video
Little presentation
of what inspired me in the very beginning. I was in Italy with my husband Joe back in 2012, and we happened to show up at his family's house, and one of his cousins, like, there's 3 generations. The grandparents live on the first floor, second floor would be their kids, and above that are their kids. So everybody lives together. And across the garden, there's more family. But anyways, they were making bread. I happened to show up and they're making bread, and I was so impressed with this.
We can show it.
So we're going to start with that.
We said.
Oh yeah, okay.
So, here we go.
Can't move any further. Okay, so what inspired me? The journey towards a healthier life. I'm always striving for a healthier lifestyle. I know many people are. I actually used to be a personal trainer, and so I always want to be better. This totally fits into that lifestyle. If you watch The Blue Zone or the book, read The Blue Zone, they talk about sourdough bread and how healthy it is for you. So that would be something you might want to do. Bread making aligns with our pursuit of natural, wholesome food. My husband and I try to do that. And inspired by the traditional Italian bread making practices.
Who is the guy?
That's me, but that's 12 years ago, so that's back in 2012, so a while ago.
I recognize the dress.
Yeah, Cornelius, exactly. But I also want to give a shout out that some of my earliest bakery experiences were from the beloved Ray Maworkey. We have some of his family here in the audience, which I am just privileged to have you here. So thank you. Okay, so there you go. When we got to there, this is how they had the bread, or the dough. It was proofing in this huge box, like a rectangular box. And this is up in a town called Galena. It's up above Reggio Calabria, if you know where that is, the very tip of the boot. So this is, I was amazed. Wow. So that was very impressive to me. And we did this kind of as a family. We made bread that evening. This is my father-in-law. He's passed now. And so it just blew my mind what we did that evening. We made so much bread, and I wanted to do that someday. You know, it was pretty cool. So we were having fun, drinking a little wine back then. And watch the lady in the background. She's the one who keeps throwing the bread our way. So this was just a real fun Saturday night.
It's me and Logan.
He did that on purpose.
And my father is saying I'm not doing the bread very well.
So it's kind of a team effort. And we made row after row of this bread. And then it rested for a bit. Go ahead. And then they have an outdoor oven. Who knew? So this just became even cooler as far as I was concerned. And this is how they do it over there. So look at all the bread. Yeah. Yes. For like their whole family. Yeah, there's four or five families that live right in the same spot. Yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe every week. maybe. And they have like a sleeve that they put it in. Because I was like, how does it stay fresh? But they eat it when it's kind of hard too. But see, we just load it in the oven. And then put it in there. Isn't that beautiful? So I was extremely impressed with that.
And then why all this work
Yeah.
for this?
So then, we ate and ate and ate. Yeah.
The bread is
We can maybe fast forward through some of this.
we can
I know.
and taking a break.
So he had my iPad. He put this on there too. I just gave him my little iPad that I took to Italy that year, and this is taking a break. So.
One of the natives of Canada. She's very
You can see Sicily.
Yeah, that's Sicily. So when we go, that'll give you an idea of where this is in Italy. It's the very tip of the boot, and that's where my husband's family is from. So when we go, that's where we stay. Like we stay like a block off the beach because his cousins have a house there. So it's very nice. Very lucky. So that's it. So I wanted to just kind of make some bread today. I mean, it's kind of hard to have you all make bread with me, but I do have, okay, so first off, how many of you do make sourdough bread? Okay, I would love for you to, at the end of this, kind of give ideas and, feel free to participate if you'd like.
I wouldn't say I was good.
That's okay. I've only been doing this for a year and a half myself, and I would love to just have input. Ideas are great. I did bring some sourdough starter for those of you who are ready to start this journey. To me, this is the hardest part of this whole thing, is keeping the starter alive. Don't let it go bad. I don't want to give this to anybody that's not going to do anything with it because it's just going to die. So you can put it in your fridge and it can stay dormant for a bit, but for those of you who are ready to start this journey, I'd love to send you home with something. And I'd like for, in a month, if you're ready to start this, reach out to me and I'm happy to provide you with some starter. Okay? So, I'm going to show you how to do this.
Are all three of them sourdough?
All of it's sourdough. So I made for today, I made regular sourdough. I made a chocolate just so that you had some kind of sweet. I made a whole wheat and I made a multigrain. So I don't know what you have on your plate, but I'm happy to open up something else. I was thinking about selling some of this bread afterwards if people would like to make some money for the Casa. How many people, is this your first time to Casa Italiana? Okay, so quite a few of you. All right, so a little bit of history about Casa. We're a nonprofit. So any money that's donated, it goes to help the Casa. I'm not getting anything. I'm a volunteer here. I'm on the board. Yeah, you're a volunteer. My husband Joe's a volunteer. The Casa is, we're here because we want to keep the Italian heritage alive. There was a Casa back in like the 30s, 40s, 50s, and like 1968, they closed it. You guys jump in if I'm not getting my history correct. My grandfather was part of it. I think your family absolutely was part of it. It was a place where immigrants could go, break bread with other immigrants, have support, because back then Italians, many of those years, were looked down upon. So it was a place where they could go and have community. The dream has always been to eventually have that again. And as the years have gone on, the generations have kind of gone away from some of this, and we're trying to bring it back and keep some sort of footprint here in the Northwest of our Italian heritage. So here we are. What?
May I add a couple of sentences?
Absolutely.
What you said.
This is your class.
So, no. I'm just happy. So I'm first generation Italian American. So we have a mix here. So many of us came to the United States, lived last 30, 40 years. I came working for an Italian American company, it was called the GT, General Telecommunications, subsidiary of the American GT. I worked in Phoenix, Arizona. I came as a software engineer. I worked there for many years. Then I came north. And I worked for a company called, because my wife then is from here. So that's where the things changed. And my wife is an Italian American. I didn't know that. Then I discovered many things about Italian Americans that we in Italy don't know. And the bad stuff and the good stuff. I made a point to understand that's history, because it's also my history. And it's also the history of Italy and history of the United States of America. So for us, the objective is to make sure that people understand it. The younger generation understand that, and the older generation understand that. One thing I want to tell you straight, don't be anymore ashamed that you don't know the language, because there are reasons why you don't know the language. Bad reasons, let's put it this way. But learning our history, learning our language will make you, I think it's making me better American. So I am an American because I'm an Italian, and also because I'm a Neapolitan. But I joke with that. But that's a combination of all this culture make us great and make us better citizens. I think we can make our contribution to the United States of America if we know our history. Not to separate us, but to unite us. Unite us because we know who we are. That's okay.
Also, how many people here are of Italian heritage? Raise your hand. Very good. So there's quite a few people that aren't. So everybody's welcome here at Casa. There seems to be in the community a little bit, well, we can't go there because it's for Italians. That's not true. Anybody who is interested in Italy, loves Italy, just wants a good cup of coffee, just come on in and spread the word. Okay. The other thing real quick before I start my demonstration is I have put together a prize. So this is the book that I use, the sourdough starter, or the sourdough, or the artesian sourdough made simple. I like things that are made simple. So I got this, and then some different supplies that some of you may recognize. So if you could please fill out the yellow slip with all of your information, because we want to be able to follow up with you. If you don't want us to follow up with you, then don't do it, but you can't win the prize either. So, also, if you could tell us what you like about today's class, or what you learned, that'd be great. And then, you have a question?
Do you have more slips and pens?
Or we out? Okay, we got some more. And if there's something that you'd like us to teach here or bring here to Casa, please let us know that too, because we're constantly looking for more ideas. Okay? All right. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And you don't have to just you don't have to sit down. Yeah. Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so I do bread every day, pretty much. I make 2 loaves a day myself. So what I do with this bread, besides us eating it, is my father lives across the street from us. I give it to him. I give it to my aunts, my uncles, my dad's friends, my clients. I'm a real estate agent, so it's a great gift to pop by and give somebody a nice loaf of bread. And my mother, whoever. So part of that is because I gotta keep this alive somehow. And so either I throw it away or I make something with it. The other thing is, and I don't know if you guys know about the discard, what's called discard. It's like this is gonna grow. So it's gonna grow. This is mine. So, or one of mine, I have several jars. So like this, I can go home later, take half of this off. I'm actually gonna use it to make more bread and show you. But I can take some of this off. I can make the best pancakes, waffles, crackers. The crackers are so delicious. You know those expensive crackers that you buy at PCC? Mine are way better. And I know what's in them. And that's the other thing. I know what's in my bread. You know, and if you look at what's in bread, it's pretty gross if you think about it. I mean, this is just water, salt, and flour, and this is water, salt, and flour. So you can't go wrong. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to make just the basic sourdough, which I got out of this book. And so I'm going to go ahead and start. So I weigh everything. I have a little scale, and I used to measure, but that's not always completely accurate because it just seemed like since I started weighing, my breads turned out better. So the way that I'm going to do this today, and I've never done it this way before, because like I made my my dough this morning for what I'll be baking tomorrow. So that's kind of I do like a 24-hour thing. This is not like baking cookies. So this isn't going to be like done in an hour. So I'm going to do this kind of like, I'm going to mix it up and show you how easy it is. And then I'm going to talk about what the next phase is after that. And then I have bread that I baked this morning that I could show you. I was not able to use the ovens downstairs because they're being used today. But this is the finished product. So we're going to start. So I just take this, put my bowl on top, and I put it to 0. So I've got a thing where I can just make it to 0, and I want to make sure I'm at grams. And of course, the cookbook will explain this all to you. The other thing is I highly recommend YouTube videos, because before I started this is kind of overwhelming, at least it was for me, and I didn't want to screw it up. And so I drive a lot. I'm sure you do too, Michelle. And so I just turn on YouTube videos and listen to, I wasn't able to watch, but I could hear what they were saying. So I learned a lot from that. So I definitely recommend, if you're gonna do this, learn from other people. And there's also, if you're on Facebook, there's all sorts of groups that you can join too that'll be supportive, and you can get some great recipes through social media. Okay, so I'm gonna put this to 0. And then I gotta find my little spatula. I have this little spatula here, and I'm gonna take my starter that I used this morning to make my bread that's at home, that's rising, and then I added a ½ cup of flour and a ¼ cup of warm water to this, mixed it up, and it's already grown, you know, just from like 6:30 this morning. So I'm gonna measure out 50 grams.
Were the people in the video doing sourdough as well?
You know, I don't know exactly. I think they may have been, but I don't know exactly. And I have so many more questions for them now. Okay, so I'm at 50. So when I go back, they know I'm doing this though, because I put my pictures on Facebook and they always compliment me. So that's really good to get a compliment from them, because they know what the hell they're doing. Okay, so I'm at 50, I'm gonna put it back to 0. So I'm gonna take my salt, and I'm just gonna add 9 grams. So that's, this is easy. And that's what I want to show you guys, that this is really easy. If I can do this, you can do this. So I'm at 9 grams. And again, the recipe is in the book. I'm happy to share with you any information and help you along the way too. So I brought my own water because I don't have a kitchen near me right now. Someday we're gonna have a big commercial kitchen here at Casa Italiana. I'm gonna add 350 grams. I use warm. So I'm at 350 right now.
Does the temperature of the water matter?
I don't know.
It does.
Yeah, I kind of think it does.
Yes.
But okay, so there you go. The hive is helping. I'm a little bit warmer than room temp. So I've just never used cold. So, okay, so now I'm just 3 ingredients right there so far. Just the starter, water, and salt. Mix this up real good. So just kind of blend it to where it's blended. And then I'm going to take my flour. Teresa, what kind of flour? Okay, well today I'm using King Arthur flour, which is kind of primarily what I use, and I do use bread flour. Sometimes I use organic, sometimes not. Costco's now carrying flour, King Arthur. They weren't when I started this, but you can get a big thing. I don't have that here. This is Amazon, but go to Costco and get it because it does get expensive. This can be an expensive hobby depending on what you use. So I'm going to put it back down to 0, and then just going to add 500 grams. Okay, I went way beyond that. Here we go. Okay, I'm right about 500. And then I have this. Has anybody seen this before? It's a little bread making.
Hold it still.
And I'm just gonna kind of whisk it up till it's blended. So far, my hands are still clean. Pretty easy, right? Amazon. I'm a big time Amazon shopper. I don't want to go to the store. I don't have time for that. Bread, yeah, just look under sourdough bread tools. And honestly, if you don't win this kit, Marie, you can get these kits. Okay, so here's my dough. So now I'm gonna just put some flour on my hands. I mean, I'm not having to do a lot of kneading. See it? It smells really good. And then, so that's about it. I'm gonna mix it up. And then I'm gonna cover it. Get one of these wet. I won't do that right now, but I use a damp towel to cover it and just place it over like so. And I let it sit for about a half an hour, which I'm going to do now. Question?
Yeah, so when you let it sit and prove, what if your environment is kind of chilly?
I'm getting there.
Chilly area.
I'm getting there. This is you got to have your house like at 70. You cannot have a cold house. But so like the people that I've talked to, that I've helped, they have that same question. Why is my bread not rising? That's the first thing I say is, how hot is your house?
Yeah.
And then when they tell me, oh, I'm like at 65, well, that's why. So, you know, maybe if you have a place in your house that's warmer. I know somebody that puts it kind of where their furnace is, because their furnace area tends to be warmer. So they put it there to rise and to proof. But that's an easy fix.
Okay.
So, but for now, this is just letting it rest for about a half an hour. And then after a half an hour, I'm going to come back to it and I'm going to mix it again. And so now when I mix it, because the gluten has time to bind, it's going to actually hold together and look more like a dough rather than, this kind of looks like cookie dough. So when I come back to it, that's what will happen. So then I let this sit, like I said, 20 hours or so. Question?
And when you mix it, do you mix it a certain way, or do you just kind of?
No, I just mix it enough
Like
so
that.
that it's all thoroughly mixed.
Okay.
It's not
Like
a certain
every-
amount of time.
The half an hour. I read that you had to do like a coil.
Oil?
Coil. With like pull it or something.
You can do that too.
Okay.
Yeah, but it depends on what type you're making. I mean, did you say oil?
Coil.